many, the traditional image of pipes on an organ seems to fit best for the church world. But in Edmonton, Alberta, it's the exhaust pipes of a motorcycle or a custom hot rod that draws a huge crowd.
We thought, it's Father's Day. What dad wants to be in church on Father's Day that doesn't normally go to church? None of them do. But every dad loves cars and bikes. So we thought, let's do something that every dad would love to be at and families would love to bring their dads to. So we put on the car show, the bike show, and they enjoy coming to the service.
It was over a decade ago that Church on 99th first started to dream of using cars and motorcycles to grab people's attention.
Well, you know, we had just moved on to this site from a smaller church site that we had, and now we had space to do some creative things. Some car people in our church kind of mentioned, you know, it'd be kind of cool to, on Father's Day, invite some of the car clubs that are around to put on a bit of a car show. It started off, our first year we had like 35 cars, you know, that was our beginning year, but we had a great time. The next year it was 70, and the next year was 150, and then it grew and grew and grew, and now it's an expected annual Father's Day event. I think, frankly, it's the biggest Father's Day event happening in Edmonton.
So does this idea have the draw the church was expecting?
We probably will increase the numbers on the property by at least double. Like, we'll at least have a couple of thousand or more. Today it's a beautiful day. It wouldn't surprise us to have about 3,000 people out today. You know, we're getting really good attendance because guys got up in the morning and went, hey, it's a sunny day, I'm going to show and shine.
Once the vehicles have all been moved into place, barbecues are fired up and music and engines roar. It's definitely a day of fun, but Senior Pastor Dennis Varty says he hopes it's even more than that.
It's a way of connecting and saying, let's get on that common ground that the Apostle Paul talks about. Getting on common ground with people, being at a place where we're on their level, that we have an interest that they're interested in, and then they kind of open up their heart to, well, what's your church all about? I know you're interested in cars and things I'm interested in. What are you guys all about?
And the event does draw some amazing cars and people, like longtime appraiser, collector, and fan, Nelson Bender, who has many memories of motoring glory days and a lot of experience in the custom car world.
Every collector of some type usually has something in his personal collection that he keeps and enjoys, and this happens to be one. It's my 1955 Chev. I kind of grew up at the right age when the muscle car era was just getting into its prime. You'd see him spin the wheels and have fun and get the nice girls in town sitting next to him, so that kind of helped it along. Well, I'll give credit to the church here because they've been doing this now for 9 years, and there's multiple car shows around. What they've done over the last 9 years and how they have made the show grow. It's nice to have free registration, and you know, the free hot dogs and stuff for people is great, but they really treat you like gold here, and it's a pretty relaxed atmosphere. When you see you know, fathers with small babies in their hands, and you know, they're 2 or 3 months old, and they're out here kicking the tires and looking around. It's good to see, and then you see some older people in the, you know, 70s and 80s walking around and enjoying the cars. So it really fulfills that whole family aspect. It all comes together for a great time for everyone.
Varty says the event not only introduces his church to many in the community, but often starts them on a faith journey that lasts a lifetime.
I'll give you an example. We have a fellow who actually testified last week in church of coming to this show with his motorcycle a couple of years ago. It was the first time he'd taken it in and had a good time. And then the next year he came back again. And he's a fellow who's riding with myself. I have a bike and a couple of my friends, and we're just kind of hanging out and getting to know each other. And so the next year he comes, and rain happens halfway through the event. Darts inside to get out of the rain, ends up in the service, and going, what's this guy doing talking on the stage? I ride motorcycles with him. Listens to it, says, I'm going to come back. Starts coming to church, gives his life to Christ, and is now, you know, an active member in our church.
It's individual stories like these that keep Church on 99th intent on continuing events like this into the future. It's a lot of colorful paint, shiny chrome, and great food and music that draws crowds year after year. What do you think of the idea of a church and a car show like this?
I think it's a really good opportunity for the church to publicize their open doors and show them that anybody is welcome.
I was driving by and I seen some cars here, and at first I wasn't going to come in, and we looked around and thought we'd bring it in here and spend a day. I wasn't sure about it, but this is quite different. Seems to be working though.
No, actually we've been coming here every year for the last few years. We live right across the street So we like to come and see the cars, and they put on a really nice show here. Everyone's really friendly and nice, so it's just a good place to come for Father's Day. It's clean, don't have to worry about no bad stuff going on. It's always been pleasant here, so.
It's just a really good time, pleasant atmosphere, lots of friendly faces. Everybody seems to be in a good mood, especially when the weather's beautiful like it is today. I think just connecting with community, get people out to the church that wouldn't regularly attend, and they might hear something they like and come back. That was the case last year. My parents started attending and harassed me for quite some time to come out, and I finally did, and found it wasn't what I thought what I thought of church anyway. It's very, very open-minded people, very accepting, and it's always a good message. Every time I come, I always take something away, something positive,
Pastor Dennis knows exactly why this event works and has a focused idea of why he wants it to continue.
We're all about evangelism, always have been, always will be. That is our primary focus. Whatever we can do that promotes the gospel, and our philosophy of ministry, if you will, the way to do that is to get to where people are at, connect with people, find common ground, be about meeting people's needs, be about doing something like this. This is a city of festivals. Edmonton's known as a city of festivals, so we have a festival. And when we do that, they go, hey, you're one of us. You're interested in us, you're doing things we're interested in, and that creates opportunity for the gospel.
Church on 99th continues to plan for an annual show and shine each June, block party barbecues throughout the summer, and a winter festival complete with horses, sleigh rides, and turkey giveaways at Christmas. It's with prayer and planning throughout the year that this church is continuing to reach out during every season. In Edmonton, Dean Muse, 100 Huntley Street.